All right, welcome back to another episode of the Drew Sutton Leadership Show. Today we have Brian Kurain, an amazing copywriter. I got to meet him, I think, 4 weeks ago. And you meet somebody and they are just great at their craft. Well, that's Brian for you. So let me introduce you, and then we'll drop the slide here, and we'll get to meet Brian in person. All right. Brian is blending sales and copywriting techniques. Brian offers personalized mentorship to each entrepreneur who is interested in increasing the sales of their products and services, which should be every single business owner out there. Brian owns Brian Kurain's Business Services LLC, which provides copywriting and sales training to entrepreneurs. So not just writing, but sales training to entrepreneurs. He graduated from Central Michigan University with a bachelor's degree in entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship has been something that Brian has been passionate about ever since he was a little boy. From running a lemonade stand to owning a copywriting business to coaching other entrepreneurs, the entrepreneurial spirit is has very much always been alive inside of Brian. Most salespeople don't know the fundamentals of copywriting. On the flip side, many copywriters don't know the fundamentals of selling. However, where both of these professions and skill sets cross paths is exactly where you can find Brian. He's spent a lifetime learning sales methodologies and copywriting best practices. Brian has experience with ghostwriting, blogging, freelance writing, and copywriting coaching. He has worked in various industries and gotten results for his clients because of the versatility and depth of knowledge he brings to the table. That knowledge revolving around sales and copywriting. So without further ado, welcome to the show, Brian.
Hi, everybody out there. Hello. Thanks, Drew. Thanks for having me.
Hey, Brian. I'm really pumped about this episode. Again, you are excellent at copywriting, and it's fun to meet somebody. I almost see the world in math, and to meet somebody that sees the world in words is very, very helpful. Yeah. But before I give you a chance to shine, you must subject yourself to the gauntlet.
Oh,
ready?
Yeah, hit me with it.
All right. Rapid fire question now.
Okay.
Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Acoustic or electric guitar?
Oh, electric.
Ooh, electric guitar. I like it. Zoo or aquarium?
Man. Zoos. We'll go zoo. Go zoo. That's a tough call. Yeah.
It's a tight one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Street vendors, like a food truck or a fancy restaurant?
So I would prefer the food trucks, but if I'm trying to take my wife somewhere, we still like the food trucks, but we'll try to do the best we can and go to a fancy schmancy place. So
that's right. I'm writing you down for food truck. Your wife, we all have to take the hit somewhere. I get it. Okay. Right. Deadpool or Wolverine?
Oh, Deadpool.
I love it.
Just love the humor. I love the humorous character. Yeah.
That's funny. Okay. Now things get a little more serious here. Is a taco a sandwich?
No. Absolutely not.
Wow. Definitively. Okay. Yeah. Pineapple on pizza?
No. Gross.
No. Come on.
No.
All right. Is listening to an audiobook considered reading?
Yeah, I would. I mean, not all of us enjoy reading like reading an actual book like I do.
Should you tip in a restaurant that is self-service?
Very little.
Very little.
Still tip. My first job was as a waiter, so I still do tip, but it'll be like maybe 10%.
Oh, we got to work for it, huh? They got to actually give good service.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, usually I'll give you 20% pretty much as long as you're not horrific. Like I genuinely, I empathize with those folks. I used to, to be very dependent on tips too. So I try to tip really well.
That's fun. All right. Well, you survived the rapid fire round.
Ooh, okay.
Let's find out a little bit more about you. So you said you have a wife. You have wife and kids? Just wife and kids?
Yeah. My wife and I have a 4-year-old boy.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
You have a wildcat in the house.
He's borderline feral. We love them.
we had a girl first, and I love the girl life, man. We have 2 boys as well, but the girl toned it down a bit as the first child.
It's a different energy. It's a different vibe, right? My son, as soon as I get downstairs after working, he'll be like, "Dad, you want to fight?" And so it's not, there's no downshift, man. It's just, let's wrestle, let's play. You want to go outside?
Yeah. Oh no, I think we lost him. Well, I'll keep the show going here while he catches back up. Yeah, one of my favorite things that I did with the boys is we had an Avengers birthday party when they were about 4, and so I laid out. I think I got you back now. Good. We laid out balance beams, and they had to like climb over the couch and then jump onto the cushions on the other side and climb underneath the table. It was super fun. Boys are fun. They're a special type of.
Yeah,
okay.
They're the best.
So you just have 1 kid, which means you still have time for hobbies. What are your hobbies?
For now. Yeah. So I love working out. That's like my stress relief, right? So usually every day, Monday through Friday, I block out an hour for that. So from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., we have a little home gym that I put together, that my wife and I put together in the garage. So I'll go there and lift, or hit the bag, or go for a walk, go for a run, something just to get the body moving. I think especially in my profession, when you're writing copy or doing sales training and doing these types of meetings or calls, it's very easy to be to not have to move much. And I definitely feel that lethargic, low energy at certain points of the day, especially like, afternoon 3 p.m. ish.
So 2 o'clock sleepies. I need to add that to my questions. At 2 o'clock, almost past. As long as I've been working, man, I can remember like 2 o'clock. I'm like, meow.
That's everybody, man.
Yeah, everybody. 2 o'clock sleepies.
Yeah, so I got to work out to get that second win, so I could, finish the day strong and not be half asleep when I'm trying to do work for folks, right? So very dependent on that.
Do you have a lifting goal? Do you have a particular lift that you're trying to push right now?
No, I wouldn't say. I'm different in that sense. I wouldn't say it's a lifting goal. I would say my goal overall is that I always want to have a disgusting amount of energy, because I'm 36 years old now, right? And I have a 4-year-old. It's a very demanding lifestyle, just trying to keep up with him. And I've noticed that my brain has to be like always ready to fire, ready to help clients, ready to just do good work. A lot of it is it's up here. So I need to always be able to think clearly. I need to make great decisions. I need to be able to play with my son. When we go out, on a weekend, I don't want to be too tired to like take my wife somewhere, do something fun. I want to be present. So regardless of my age, I want it to not matter. I want to be feeling good. I want to be able to chase my son down the street and hang out with him and play. I want to have a high quality of life. So what that has translated into has been, I think I've lost like 20, almost 25 pounds in the last 3 or 4 months. Great. Thanks for the horn.
Yeah, man. That's exciting. That's exciting. I've been through a weight loss journey, and currently I'm a little on the upside, but I know the pain of that. That's awesome. 25 pounds is amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It'd be cool if I lost like another 15, 20, because I'm sure I'd feel even better, right? I'd sleep even better. I'd have even more energy. So, I mean, at this age, it's not necessarily about lifting a certain amount or looking a certain way or anything. For me, it's about being healthy. So if I go to the doctor, I want a clean bill of health. I want to be able to do great work, literally 8 to 10 hours a day, whatever I choose that day, whatever is required of me. I want to be able to execute on that. And then when work is done, I don't want to be so mentally drained or physically exhausted or what have you, where, when my son wants to play, I shove a tablet in his face and say, hey, I just want to veg out on the couch for a little bit. I don't feel very good.
Yeah, I totally agree. I know for me, the weight loss journey, I got to coach my boys in basketball at the time.
There you go. Yeah.
Like little league basketball. And I don't know if because you're at 4, you're not quite there yet, I don't think. But the next couple of years, do a little league basketball. Like I thought, I'll have a little bit of fun. It'll be okay. Yeah. It was some of the most fun I've had, because like these kids, like you watch pro ball And the questions are they going to dunk it? Are they going to make it? And you
Sure.
watch little kids and you're like, did he remember which way to go?
It's a different world, man.
And I remember Lake was one of the boys, and he was kind of shorter, and he was very just kind of smaller kid. And I was like, listen, like you need to sit right here, stand right on this square, and they're going to pass you the ball. And then you just do like we practiced and practice. And he got his first goal, and like the whole arena erupted. It was more excitement than LeBron. It was amazing. Anyway.
Yeah, I love that, man. We're putting our son in soccer with a couple of his buddies.
Good.
That live by here. So he starts soccer in a couple weeks. Just run around, kick the ball, man. Have fun. Life's not that serious yet. So just live your life and have fun. That's what it should be all about.
So I played soccer when I was in high school, and then YouTube happened. And like YouTube was a little bit there at the end of high school, but like not like it is today at all. Right. And when I was a kid, if you could do the scissors on the ball where you like put your legs, like kind of weave your legs on the ball, you were a god.
Yeah.
And if you could do a rainbow or like juggle 3 times, like you were basically
golden
getting a scholarship.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And today my 12-year-old niece, well, like cousin niece, like first cousin here. So my 12-year-old niece, she's amazing. Like she would have schooled me as a senior in high school. And it's because of YouTube. Like YouTube has all these tutorials to break they call it ankle breaks. Like when you juke somebody and they fall over.
Yeah.
Anyway,
coaching is different now too.
Yeah. Sports is different than like for us. It was just like get out of the house, kid. Go drink from the hose.
Yeah. Now it's like, hey, here's some proper nutrition tips.
Yeah.
Here's some like recovery advice that actually works because we understand the science of it all much better now. Here's some exercises you can do to get better. Here's better advice on conditioning and drills. Like there's an actual science and method to the madness. It's not just kick this ball, run as fast as you can, get away from that guy, shoot it in this goal. There's like a whole more in-depth strategy, which I love. I love sports.
I think it's great. It's kind of like what you're talking about here. You do copywriting, which people would not think of as an athletic endeavor, right? But the body and the mind and the spirit are super closely coupled.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The discipline that you develop in one area carries over. But then when you have the energy, you're not afraid to tackle bigger projects. You're not afraid to foray into unknown territory that you might mess up and have to redo. Yeah.
People don't realize, man, that's such a good point. We can talk about it for just a quick minute. Again, if I didn't exercise, if I didn't eat properly, if I wasn't feeling good, if I wasn't feeling confident and strong and energetic, am I really going to be pumped to take the next call with a prospect who might want to utilize me and learn more about my services when they've probably already interviewed 2, 3, 5, 10 other copywriters like me just this week, right? It's a competitive sport I'm in, man. Every day we have to compete. I'm not out there kicking the soccer ball anymore. I used to do mixed martial arts for 6 years when I was a little younger. So I might not be training for a cage fight that's coming up in 2 months. I might not have to drop 30 pounds to make my weight class, et cetera, et cetera. But I am very much in a prove it type of business. I'm not the only person out there that claims they're a copywriter or a sales trainer or all this other stuff. So if I don't feel great, whether it's 5 p.m. on a Friday or 9 a.m. on a Monday, it's irrelevant. Because when I'm speaking to that person or I'm working on something for them, that low energy and that laziness and that brain fog, it absolutely will come through in the way I talk to them, in the way I carry myself, in the way I stand, in the way I do my work for them. You'll see sloppy mistakes. You'll see lower quality. And it's completely unacceptable because that one bad first impression that I made with them unexpectedly and obviously unintentionally, it could really mess things up for me, right? Obviously. Why would they want to keep working with someone like that? So,
yeah, I'm gonna just like give you the bonus thing to it. Yeah, copywriting is a competitive sport.
every day.
Because winning matters. Your sales matter. So when you can ask yourself as you're thinking about, should I just do this myself or should I bring Brian on? Let me ask you this. Do you want to win? Do you think, how many tries does your prospect give you to re-win their business? Or do they give you one shot, right? So copywriting, of all the sales work that exists, copywriting is a competitive sport, and Brian's going to help you win that. I think that's amazing.
Yeah. Whatever success looks like to you, and we'll figure that out together. But,
yeah, there you go. Okay, so let's roll on here. Do you have a why? Like Simon Sinek talks about the why. I think whys are important. I think probably yours has to do with winning here, but what drives you in the morning? Why should somebody choose you? What are you about in life?
Yeah, so I'm trying not to get emotional because truly it drives me every single day. When I wake up, it's what I think about, and a lot of times it's the last thing I think about when I go to sleep. And I hope I can wake up tomorrow, if I'm fortunate enough to be able to do that and play the game all over again.
There you go.
For me, for especially when I was younger, I was a really small kid, so,
okay.
And I love sports. So rarely was I one of the first ones to get picked.
Okay.
He was like, oh, we're going to play basketball. All right. Brian's like one of the last people to get picked. 5'3" me currently. I'm not going to be like your starting center, right? So,
yeah, right.
Same thing with football and everything that we used to play. But that really, like, those types of experiences really drove me to be competitive, to find ways in which I can excel, right? With my body type, my playing style, my talent level, my work ethic, all these intangibles that I had to develop because I didn't have a lot of the physical traits, that other guys on the team or the other team, had. So what drives me over time, it became, okay, how can I learn the necessary skills or the essential skills, as I refer to them, so that I can win here? It used to be on the soccer field, then the basketball court, then the in MMA, the cage or the ring, what have you. Then it translate it into business, right? So I've noticed that over my career, when you have those certain essential skills, it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter, where your parents came from or how little money you used to have or how much money you did have or how educated you are. None of that stuff matters, right? What matters is, oh, this person has the skills to help me solve my problems. They're valuable to me. I'm going to pick them. This person can speak my language. They get me and they can help. I talked to 10 people today. None of them seem to get what I'm trying to do. None of them seem like they can actually add value to, to my, well, I work with a lot of entrepreneurs and solopreneurs. So to my business, Brian seems to get it. Okay, I want to work with Brian. Now, my mission, my first milestone is to help at least 1,000 entrepreneurs or solopreneurs learn these essential skills and utilize them to gain so much success in their own business that they'll never again have to work a job that they hate. And that is what pushes me. That's the engine, right? Like that's the engine that drives me every day, because for a long time, I didn't have those essential skills, right? And I had to work several jobs that I absolutely freaking hated, Drew. But I needed the money. I had to pay the bills. I had to take care of myself. So if I would have had those essential skills, maybe, and I'm glad it wasn't, but maybe my life would have looked a little different, during those gaps, during those time periods of my life. So I know there's so many people out there that are in that same position where they wish, man, if I knew how to sell better or do presentations better or write better, if I could articulate my thoughts better, if I could communicate a little bit better, maybe I could get this business going like how I wanted to, or get this dream job, or get this or get that. But they just don't have the skills and they don't have anybody to show them, right? So I'm here for them. I guess I'm always cheering for the little guy. I'm always cheering for the underdog because that's who I see myself as.
Yeah, no, man, I love that. I love a couple of things about that. Somebody said to me once, the difference between a hero and a villain is the villain experiences pain and frustration and says, I'm going to shape the world so that I never have to experience that again.
Sure.
And the hero experiences that pain and frustration. And he says, I'm going to go out there to make sure that no one else has to feel that pain and frustration.
Sure.
And right. So your heroic story here is you went through that frustration and you said, I'm going to win, but not I'm going to win and hold people down. I'm going to win. And then I'm going to coach other people so that they can win.
Yeah.
And so that you don't have to work a job you hate. I think a lot of times people forget the costs, right? They forget the stakes of what's going on here. Like it's not watch TV or work really hard on self-development. It's work hard on self-development or work a job you hate. Those are your choices. And the difference is sales. The difference is, so there's so much. I'm an engineer. I come from an operations background, and sales, you got it. Like if you're not good at sales, what you have is a hobby, not a business, right?
I know. You're
right?
absolutely right. Yeah.
And you look at your kids' eyes and you look at the food that's on their plate, and that is sales. Sales made that food get on that plate. And so coaching folks. So if you're not great at sales, real quick, so who can you help get better at sales? So you said solopreneurs, you said entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Like at what point are they too big? You can help. You can help people with one person, 5 people, 10 people. If somebody has 100 people, is that too big?
No problem.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's not an issue. I think the biggest things for me are the intangibles, right? So I can help pretty much anybody that wants to learn and is willing to be patient and commit to the process. I don't know anyone, and maybe you do, but I don't know anybody that can just flip a switch and, oh, look, I'm amazing at sales now. I know everything I need to know. Drew, I've been in the sales world for almost 2 decades. It's been like 18 something years now. I'm still learning a better way to say a message. I'm still perfecting my tonality. I'm still perfecting my listening capabilities. I'm still perfecting my creative thinking, my problem solving. I still feel like I don't have it all figured out. And I hope I never do, right? I hope I want to keep learning and keep getting better. I want to always enjoy it and find it fun. The comment about, do you want to watch TV or do you want to work on self-development? That's your choice. For me, I think the biggest thing is I'm at a point now where I'm so fortunate to be able to say this and actually be here. I watch TV when I want to, which is hardly ever.
Right.
Because there are clients that depend on me, because there are things I'm working on, because there are things I'm researching. So I feel like I'm kind of wasting my time when I'm getting lost in a show, right? Because there's people that could use me and better themselves, if I would just turn the TV off and go and talk to them or help them. So I'm very driven. Not that I'm against watching TV. I watch shows with my wife, whenever I can. But I love what I do, man. And I only have so much time, in the day with life in general to be able to do it. So I want to soak it in as much as I can. It's not because someone's forcing me to do it. And I think there's a big difference there, doing something.
No, I agree. In leadership, our job is to lift others up, right? I want more for you than you want for you. That's what a good leader says. I want more for you than what you want for you. And when you're living that life, when you're living a life, not a job that you hate, but when you're living a life where you're like, I love my job and I have people that depend on me, you don't need to watch TV because you're already a hero. Right?
I'm already entertained, man.
Yeah.
I'm good.
You got problems that are interesting.
Yeah.
I think, and I can speak, I'll just be honest, in some of my darker periods of life when I was frustrated, I would watch TV to escape from the world.
Of course.
I don't live in a world I want to escape anymore because I have something that I'm building towards. I have people that rely on me, right? So very cool. Well, we're going to move on from this segment real quick.
Sure.
I am a huge fan of leadership. I just got a John Maxwell leadership certification, which I'm super proud of and love.
Congrats.
So I'm going to read a law here. So John has a bunch of laws. Every one of his books has like 5 ways to 16 ways to. So let's do the law of the lid. Leadership ability determines a person's level of effectiveness. Your level of leadership determines your level of effectiveness. How do you feel about that?
100% agree. Up until about 2 months ago, it was just me, myself, and I doing everything here. There was nobody else on the team. Very proud to be able to say that as of about maybe 2 months ago or so, I've added 2 new people to the team. So I have thanks, man. I have Autumn, who helps on a as needed basis as an assistant writer to me, an editor. And then her sister-in-law, Hadley, that she was nice enough to refer to me, is a very talented copy editor. So Hadley also helps on an as-needed basis when I have a bigger project or I feel a little stuck with some of the editing processes that I have that I need to go through for certain projects. I can pull either one of them in depending on where the project is at and where I feel like they can serve with their skill set and expertise. So I've really had to make sure I perfect my communication, perfect my training, perfect my expectations, how I articulate that, how I treat them, of course. Nobody wants to work. I don't want to work with anybody that doesn't seem to respect me, or whenever they ask me to do something, it's condescending or in a awkward tone or a confusing tone or what have you. So I very much do feel like I'm leading them. Still do all the selling here, still do all the customer management, client relationship management, account expansion. I don't ask them to worry about any of that stuff. I love doing that. It is my business after all, so I don't put those expectations on them. But I very much, I mean, these are my people, right? So I want to make sure they're set up for success. And being a strong, effective leader is something that I think is crucial, and it's something I'm very passionate about too, because they could always go somewhere else. You know, they don't need to help me. I would like to think that they stay here and they help me and work with me because they enjoy the way they're getting treated. Not just with the money I'm giving them, but genuinely like how I train them, how I teach them. I care about them. These are real people to me. They're not just another dollar sign or another number here or a cog in the machine. This isn't corporate America anymore. You know, I left. Thank God.
Right.
I am no longer in corporate America, but
you get to live you don't have to work a job you hate. You get to work a job that you love.
And my goal for them is that we grow this business to the point where neither do they.
Yeah. No, I love it. I love it. You know, Dan Martell, he's kind of on a social media push right now. He's building his brand. I love Dan. In fact, if anybody ever meets Dan, you can, like, if you want to give back to Drew, connect me with Dan. I love Dan. But I'm
reading his book right now, Buy Back Your Time.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I got the chance to go see him on stage, I think 2 weeks ago. And
for you, man.
He was at a John Maxwell conference, and we're talking about the law of the lid. And so the way he says it, which is a little bit different, is the way John Maxwell says it is there's no 8s out there living in the world that are just desperate to come work underneath a 4. Right? Like if your leadership is here, like, and you're like, I need better people. Well, better people will find you. It's kind of amazing how many better people find you.
You need to be better.
Right.
Look in the mirror, bud.
Right. So, but the way that Dan says it is, you need to create a company that can supply the dreams of your people. Now, it's not your job to like make them whatever, but if your vision and where the company's going and their role in the company doesn't meet their future goals, then they're going to leave.
Yeah.
So our job is to raise ourselves so that those that are following us can raise themselves.
Yeah.
Right. And it sounds like you're doing that.
Now, I do the very journey. Yeah, I do the very best I can. I'm not perfect. You know, I make mistakes too. But one of the first things I did with Hadley and with Autumn too is when they started helping me with projects, I pulled each of them to the side individually and said, "Hey, what are we aiming at here? Like, what's one of your goals, right? Why are you helping me? What are you hoping to get out of this? What can I do to really serve you? Because I don't want you thinking, okay, Brian's got this project for me. Oh, now he's got this one for me. Okay, do this. I get this much money. Do that. Okay, Brian needs it. Like, I don't want it to be transactional. I like genuinely, what is the point here, right? And I want to make sure I'm always aligning to help you hit whatever goal or target you have, you know, off in the horizon. Otherwise, I'm just kind of wasting your time, and I'm not going to accept that. So I learned that as quickly as I could, and now we're working towards that. Most bosses did not do that for me. So again, trying to be to other people what I wish I could have had more, you know, for myself. And I think they appreciate that, right? And that's why they're still here and still seem to be happy, you know, helping me with projects. So I'm very fortunate.
The other thing I like about your story is this. You were growing the business and you hired people to do the right pieces. You didn't say, man, this sales part's frustrating or this financial piece is frustrating. You said, oh, this is the stuff that I need to offload to somebody. And Dan Martell talks about this towards the end of his book. After you get a virtual assistant, this is how you create. So you get them to do the pieces that are easier to train. And then as they grow, then you put other people under them.
Of course.
Anyway, I think you've done a lot of wise things there, and I'm impressed. I'm going to roll us over here. So you're a master of storytelling. You're at the intersection of copywriting and sales, not just telling a good story, not just selling, but you're at the intersection of copywriting and sales.
Yeah.
Tell me why storytelling sells and and not just pictures of your product on the internet. Tell me what people do wrong and why you got to tell a story.
Yeah, I think storytelling is everything, right? And I'll use a terrific example, one very near and dear to my heart, kind of how big reason why I became who I am today and took the path that I did. My grandpa on my mom's side, I was very, very close with him when he was alive. We used to go, I'm South Indian, so we used to go to visit my grandparents in South India every 2 or 3 years in the summer, to spend time, with them when they were with us. My grandpa was a phenomenal storyteller. I mean, he would tell me stories of back when, he was teaching at the local high school with my grandma. They were teachers there, and stories of stuff that would happen with the kids and lesson plans and stuff about the community where he grew up and his parents and our culture and traditions and the festival coming up and anything. I mean, he could spin an amazing story, and you couldn't help but keep listening, so he'd hook you and keep you the whole time. And as a little kid, to grab a little kid's attention like that, and to not lose it, I mean, I took it for granted, at that time, but he was incredible. And I think a lot of us miss the point now when we're entrepreneurs is we think, oh, it's my customer service that's going to win people over. Oh, it's my products. It's my services. It's what I charge. That's got to be it. It's the price. No, it's who you are as a person. It's the mission. It's what drives you. It's your background. It's your employees' backgrounds, the team that's here actually taking care of the customers, the magic that goes on behind the scenes that most people don't have access to. How could they, unless you share it with them and you show them how this magic actually happens, right? How is the show actually produced? That's what it's all about. That's how you find your tribe. That's how you find loyal customers. That's what drives customers to become evangelists for you and refer other people they know to you. It's because they buy into you and your company's brand and the mission and the story of it all, not just the fact that you happen to sell a really cool product. They could probably get that product somewhere else, possibly even cheaper. So you're competing in the wrong space when you're just focusing on price or product or service, right?
Yeah, I love that. You're competing in the wrong space if you're competing on price and service. And I'll just kind of pull a little thread there. There's 3 classic differentiators. You can either be prestige, which is like fancy Gucci,
luxury, yeah,
right? You can be performance, which is like Audi.
Sure.
So I have a buddy that got an Audi car. He was very excited about it. We watched it on the GPS tracker leave the factory and get delivered. Like, he's very, very excited about it. Okay. So then that next Saturday, I went to a car show, and I called him up and said, "Hey, Jim, I noticed that there's no Audis at this car show." Right? I was just making fun of him, and he goes, "Yeah, that's because everybody that has an Audi is out driving it." Like performance, like, right?
Fair, yeah.
And then you have cheap. Well, it's called value technically, but you have cheap. And everybody that starts in entrepreneurship, I think it's a confidence issue on their side. Is they're like, well, I'm going to sell sneakers cheaper than this guy. And that conversation is a race to the bottom of no profit, miserable life.
Yeah.
And there's always somebody that's willing to come in there and sell it a little cheaper.
Of course.
And the other crazy thing is it's actually infinitely harder to sell cheap than it is to sell the prestige. Like a $300,000 Bentley is not technically, like, from a technical perspective, much more complicated, if at all more complicated, than a Ford F-150, right? They're both cars, and the materials aren't particularly more expensive. So the profit margin is higher, way higher on the Bentley.
Of course.
It takes a lot more expertise to sell and win at that bottom level. And frankly, the solopreneur, you can't win that level. You need to sell your performance or your prestige, and that requires a story.
Yeah, and I think and unfortunately we'll probably have to wrap this up pretty soon too, Drew, because I have another call coming up. But just to echo that, if I was the cheapest person out there, I would have a huge problem with that, because I know where my talent is, and I've been doing this a long time. I haven't paid the price I've paid and made the mistakes I've made and the experiences I've gained and helped the people I've gained, so that I could one day, almost 20 years later, be the cheapest copywriter in the game and the cheapest sales trainer. My God, is that what I did all this for?
Right. To
So
be the
I
cheapest.
could,
Yeah.
so that I can haggle with people and spend all of my time haggling as they try to continuously get me to work with them or help them at a lower and lower price. That's not what I did all this for. But it's like what I'm saying is it's comical. And yet, so many folks I work with, they get it as soon as I give that example, right? They're like, oh my God, I'm sitting here like fighting so hard to starve. Why? Okay, it's a scarcity mindset that you have. You're worried that people don't want to work with you because they can't afford you, or because you're trying to take advantage of them or price gouge them, or whatever other nonsense you have in your mind. That's not true.
Right.
But I know what my story is. I did not get all the training and make all the sacrifices and help as many people as I did, work as hard as I did, so that I could be the cheapest person out there. I leave that stuff to the copywriter that's brand new to the game, the sales guy who it's his first sales job. Okay, he's got to get out there and get some clients. So does the copywriter. I get it. Be as cheap as possible. Fine. Get people to work with you and then you show them what you can do, and they can raise your prices from there. That's not me anymore, you know. So the last thing I want to be is the cheapest person out there, because that's not going to do me justice.
I love that. All right. You did. I know that we're running up against the wall for you. So real quickly, tell me your favorite success story. You were working with somebody.
Yeah.
What did you help them do, and how fast did you help them do it?
So her name is Karina. I'm very much friends with her. After we started working together, we just became friends and still stay in touch. I met her when I used to be a master coach at a high ticket business coaching company. It was probably about 3 years ago now, so it's a little while ago.
Okay.
She's a mental health therapist. When she met me, she was still in graduate school and was struggling to, it was a virtual practice she had, but was struggling to even like charge even like $100 for a session. She was only making maybe like a few $100s a month from her clients and the services she was providing. Really wanted to obviously scale it because she was almost done with school. This is what she wanted to do, with her life, but just didn't know how to financially make it work, because how is she going to support herself with just a few $100 a month? So started working with me. She enrolled in our program. I was working for a different company at the time, but enrolled in our program. I taught her copywriting frameworks. That's what I do, copywriting coaching. Taught her a ton of different sales methodologies, worked very, very closely with her. She was one of my individual clients. Taught her some marketing strategies, edited some copy that she would send my way for social media posts, gave her some organic lead generation training and frameworks there. Dude, so it was just a 3-month program. It's a 3-month mentorship program. In those 3 months, Karina ended up making over $20,000 in revenue.
That's not terrible.
No, considering you used to only make a few $100s in a month.
Considering that probably that first month they were just learning, and it takes a little time for traction to hit, right?
And then she started being able to book better consultation calls for herself. She felt, confident on the phone. She was closing deals. She was attracting more of her ideal clients. We came up with really good continuation programs that she could offer these folks to, again, organically grow the book of business, keep that recurring revenue coming in, keep serving people at a higher level. Helped her build out a referral program. God, she's just amazing. I mean, I have several stories.
I'm going to stop you there because you're throwing so much value out here, and I know you have to go. So I'm just going to kind of sum up here.
Yeah.
We just came off the Olympics. When you look at the Olympic stage, there's the people winning the gold, and there's a bench full of coaches, right? The real pros in life take a coach because they don't want to wait 20 years to learn to be at the level that Brian's at. They want the results now, and that's the type of results that Brian can get you. So if you're a solopreneur, entrepreneur, got a bit of business going, even got 10, 20, 30 employees, and you want your sales to start taking off, not only is Brian going to write you some copy, whatever, he's going to teach you how to think like a salesperson and teach you to think in story frameworks. I think that's all I got to say. Brian, any closing comments from you?
Yeah, my biggest thing is obviously thank you so much for your grace here and allowing me to be on the show with you. To anybody out there that's listening and watching, please, if you could use any help with copywriting, marketing, sales, there's a lot we can do here with me and Hadley and Autumn here on the team. We'd love to talk to you, and if it's a good fit, great. We're happy to help. If it's not, I probably know someone else that can help you. So either way, we will point you in the right direction and get you what you need. So excited to hopefully have some of your folks be in that first milestone of 1,000 people who never have to work a job they hate.
So if you're trying to find a way to get in contact with Brian and his team, you'll find a link in the comments for his giveaway. It's going to teach you. Let me throw it up here real quick. Here, you can scan this QR code. Leave it up here for 10 seconds. We're going to start the closeout music. Get in touch with Brian. Make a change in your company. Start winning the gold. With that, we are out.